Welcome, my friends. Thank you once again for joining me. My name is Dawn, and I'd like to explore some more of my favorite yin postures with you. So today's class will be about 20 minutes, and I'd like to take you through Caterpillar, which is, if you do a more active style of yoga, it would be similar, very similar to Paschimottanasana, the seated forward fold. And we're also going to look at the plow. And for some of you, it might not be something you really want to do, especially if you have some neck issues, okay? But you'll see that when we get there, and we're not going to hold it for long. And you can decide when you're there to either stay in the Caterpillar or to come into plow. And lastly, I want to try to show you Siddhabandha Sarvangasana, so a baby bridge. Supported. Yes, of course. It is yin, don't forget. So what do you need? Yoga mat if you have one. Definitely if you have a blanket, gather up a blanket. Doesn't matter, what it is exactly, but we're going to use it maybe to sit on, okay? So some kind of blanket you can fold up and use. And definitely have a couple blocks or a couple, some books, a few books, so that I think these are, I really don't know, I think 3 inches each. So I'm going to say that you need at least one, maybe two, that kind of height, okay? And a bolster, we don't really need to bolster today, but it might be helpful. So gather up what you want, gather up what you need, and please come right back here. Just shut down the video and start it up again when you've got everything that you need, all your props, pillows, blankets. I'll see you soon. Okie doke. So here we are. So again, I said that we were going to explore Caterpillar. Caterpillar is a forward fold, so flexion, right? If you have low back problems, or if your lower back, your lumbar region of your back is bothering you today for whatever reason, you have a couple options. One would be maybe just staying just like this and not really folding too much, if at all. Maybe a little bit. Okay, that's enough. Stay there. If you notice that you're not sitting really upright, but you're kind of, your back is kind of rounding, and this is you just sitting on the mat. It's a habit some of us do have. So that's where your blanket, fold it up, sit on that blanket, and then roll forward on it a bit. So your sits bones are just forward of your blanket, and there you go. That'll help you to maintain a more neutral spine. Inhale, find length in the back body, and as you exhale, start to fold forward. Please just come to where you're comfortable, come to where you start to feel some resistance. So that point of resistance is your edge, and that's where you want to be. Your feet, we're not just letting them hang out, okay? Your legs. So, flex the toes, straighten them up, as if you're standing on the wall in front of you or whatever. As if you were standing on the floor is here, okay? Instead of here. So we wouldn't stand like that. We'd have a little bit of engagement. And again, inhaling is always to find space, and exhaling is always to find a little depth. So come into where you're comfortable and really just hanging out, okay? Breathing here. Noticing, where do you feel this? So this particular posture is very good all the way from the toes, down the bottom of the feet, back of the heels, back of the calves, all the way up the hamstrings, the glutes, the lower back, all the way up your back, mid back, upper back, all the way to the top of your head, so the whole back body. We'll feel a stretch somewhere along that body. So wherever you're the tightest is really where you're going to feel it for the most part. When you find some opening, whether it's your hamstrings, whether it's your calf, whether it is that lower back, keeping in mind that often we feel it's our lower back, it's really more in the glutes or the hamstrings. Once that maybe releases, maybe finds a little more space for you to fold and to get into the posture, then you might not notice it in the lower back, or you might, okay? So just noticing whatever you feel. And again, you might be more up here. You might be sitting on your blanket. Okay, the other option here, there's a couple. One might be, just might feel good to have something here to use as you're folding forward. Nothing wrong with that. If this is where you're at, wow, then this is where you're at, okay? It's lovely. Actually, it feels really good. I like it. So that's one option. The other one is, if your hamstrings are very tight, this might not feel good having your legs straight. Just bend them and take, again, my bolster is pretty big, so but if you have a smaller bolster, this might work a little better for you. Again, inhaling to find space, exhaling to fold forward. So wherever you were at, so you got into the posture, you've decided, yeah, this is where I am, this is my edge. You took a few seconds, maybe a minute, to get yourself adjusted to where you're going to be comfortable for a few minutes. Really just remain there, breathing and noticing where it is that you feel the stretch. It also might be good to just have maybe something a little less underneath those knees. That's fine too. You know, we're all unique characters. We all have different needs. We all have different bodies, experiences that got us to where we are. Just honor that. Take care of yourself. Alrighty. Now, there's going to be a moment now where you're going to choose to either stay here or wherever you're at, okay, in that caterpillar. And if you would like to try the plow, I don't want you to try it really if you have neck issues. Just stay here. This is a beautiful posture, just lovely. And like I said, stretching the whole back body. If you're familiar with plow or halasana, as it's also known, and you do it on a regular basis, then great. There you go. Do it. Otherwise, for the rest of you, you can just watch me. It's also a flexion of the spine, okay? But we're just doing it differently because we like to do that. So really, just coming over. Either your hands here on the mat. Don't turn your head like I just did. It's not a very good thing to do. Please don't do that. You can use your hands to support your back. You can use your hands here, grab those toes, somehow, ankles, legs. Your legs don't have to be super straight. They could be bent. It could be wherever you want them, however you want them. I like to curl my toes here. You can also flatten the top of the feet down. Keeping your head straight. Noticing how this feels. If this bothers your neck, come on out. Otherwise, staying for another couple breaths here. And if you decided to try it but are regretting it now, no problem. Very slowly coming out and back into the forward fold. Otherwise, stay there. I'm going to show you a different variation for anyone that's still watching in the caterpillar. If you're in your plow, just stay there and listen. Don't turn your head to look at the screen. Okay, so the other option, and if you want to come out of the plow just to see what's going on, you can do that too. The other option is coming up onto a bolster, or blocks actually would work as well. And so you're here. This is known as Viparita or legs up the wall, waterfall, lots of names. But then just taking that, sometimes it feels good to have a little bit of support in the back body. And just coming here or here. But really, with the bolster, nice to stay here. So, as you can see, this is exactly what I just did in caterpillar. So, My legs were a bit, they were a little straighter in the caterpillar. This feels good to have them bent here. And it is flexion of the spine. Come on out. Come on out. All right, if you have props, get rid of all your props. Put them to the side. Come on down onto your back for just a moment here. Maybe extending your legs. Staying for a little mini savasana. So a couple pointers there. If you have neck issues, if you've had whiplash, or you've not been advised to do certain things like that, you've seen your doctor, then don't do the pop. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do anything that's not comfortable in your body. The other, just leaning forward is wonderful. Okay, so the forward fold to wherever you're at. When we start to add in things with the neck, you really got to be cautious. Okay, so a couple more breaths on your back. Noticing how those postures landed in your body. Where did you feel sensations? Letting go of any preconceived idea of what you were supposed to look like in the posture. And just enjoy breathing into your belly and making a nice big Buddha belly. And exhale out the mouth. Do another one just like that. Lovely. All right, so a little bridge posture that I want to show you. It's a supported bridge. So you will need some support. If you have pillows, of course that will work as well. I'm going to show it with blocks. It doesn't matter what you use for support as long as it can hold you and as long as it's stable and you're not having to grip and hold to stay on that support. Okay, so the block goes under the sacrum, not, please listen, not into the lower back. You don't want to feel this in your lower back. You want it just under that flat portion of the sacrum. Your feet are about hip width apart, and really you're just lying here. Let your weight sink into the block. This is a bridge pose. This is a back bend. I love this pose. From here, you can stay how you are, no problem. Sit still, just enjoying, just breathing. Setting the breath wherever you feel sensations, maybe in your back. From here, if you choose, you could straighten the legs. You could straighten just one leg. You know, maybe that feels good, alternate it. Or maybe coming both legs and see how that feels. If that is too much in the lower back, if it's like, oh my goodness, I don't like that, no problem. Come back, bend those knees. This is great right here. This is what I like. I love it. From here, another decision time. Do you want to stay here? Does this feel like enough? Is it nice and juicy of a back bend for you? Or would you like to experience a bit more? If you want a bit more and you have another block or you have a couple more books that are hard and good and can support you, whatever it is you're using, maybe another bolster, lift the hips just enough. Insert your other support. You may need to adjust. And there you go. Down onto that support. Yes, nice and high. Oh yeah. And breathe. Notice if you came into this version with the two blocks with a lot more height, and now again you're regretting it, or you're thinking, well, that was enough, or that's nice, I want to go back, no problem. Push into your feet, lift your hips, and come back down to the one block, or maybe remove both of them if that time has come and you need to do that, okay? Otherwise, finding some stillness, finding the heaviness in your support. So don't hold yourself up on your support. Relax into it. Relax into it. Let yourself be heavy. Again, it might feel nice to straighten one leg, and then
other leg. See how that feels. Maybe that's your starting point. And then maybe you decide to stay here with both legs bent, or experiment both legs. There we go. And breathe. Notice where the achiness is. Notice where the sensations are the strongest. Notice if you have pain. If you have pain, that's not good. You need to come out of the posture. If you tried the straight legs and now feel like that was enough, that's fine. Just bend your knees and bring your feet back and rest here. All right. If you did add some height to your support, then now is the time. I want you to push into your feet and remove just half. So if you have 2 blocks, remove 1 block and slowly come back down onto just the one. So the lower, we're lowering back down to step 1. And notice the difference now. Wow, maybe it felt like a big back bend when you initially did it, and now maybe it doesn't feel like much at all. It's really kind of neat. I like it. A couple more breaths here. Again, make sure you're not holding yourself on your support, but allow your support to hold you. And push into your feet again, lift your hips just enough, remove the last amount, and slowly, 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 1 vertebrae at a time. Come on down. Oh, that feels so great. Breath here. Exhale out the mouth. Straighten your legs. And we now are in Savasana. Just relax. Let go of everything that we did, everything that happened, every idea you may have had of how a posture should have looked, didn't look, you were great, you weren't great. Just leave it be. It is what it is. So staying in your Savasana for as long as you can. Just enjoying. So we did some pretty deep forward folding and back bending both. So good for the spine. But maybe, you know, it was a bit much and maybe you just need to rest. So do that. And perhaps tomorrow try it again. All right? Thanks so much for joining me. I just love doing these videos. It's my honor to do these for you, and I hope you enjoy these favorites of mine as much as I do. Namaste. Thank you. See you again soon.